What's up, everybody? If you like the kind of work that I do here on this channel, that's demonetized because of the work that I do on here, do consider supporting me on Patreon or Cash App. Do you guys remember Tanzania's president who tested a papaya and a goat and they both came out positive for the coronavirus? Well, lo and behold, he dies at the age of 61. Tanzania's President John Magufuli has died age 61, the country's vice president has announced. He died on Wednesday from heart complications at a hospital. Blah, blah, blah. He had not been seen in public for more than 2 weeks, which is normal for leaders of various countries, right? You don't see them in public every day. Sometimes they're not there for a month. So what? And rumors had been circulating about his health. Opposition politicians said last week that he had contracted COVID-19, but this has not been confirmed, right? So his enemies said he got COVID. The article says he died of heart complications, okay? So according to the BBC, his opposition was full of shit. Mr. Magufuli was one of Africa's most prominent coronavirus skeptics and called for prayers and herbal-infused steam therapy to counter the virus. Mr. Magufuli was last seen in public on 27th of February, but Prime Minister Kassim Majaliwa insisted last week that the president was, quote, healthy and working hard. He blamed the rumors of the president's ill health on hateful Tanzanians living abroad, right? It's the same situation as in Belarus, right? These Belarusians that have been either influenced by or living in the West are coming back into Belarus, stirring things up, right? Attacking the president. Democratically elected president, by the way. So according to the opposition, again, his enemies, he was being treated for COVID. BBC says no, heart complications. This same president declared Tanzania COVID-19 free, right? So he had great success, whatever the fuck that means, ridding his country of this plague. He also mocked the efficacy of masks, expressed doubts about testing, and teased neighboring countries which imposed health measures to curb the virus. Quote, countries in Africa will be coming here to buy food in the years to come. They will be suffering because of shutting down their economy, he said, according to the Associated Press, right? Exactly the same rhetoric that I agree with, by the way, that Lukashenko in Belarus was propagating. Tanzania has not published details of its coronavirus cases since May, and the government has refused to purchase the government has refused to purchase vaccines. The news of his death was received with shock and disbelief, right? People remember him as healthy, and then he just falls ill all of a sudden, has heart complications. For those of you in the know of the more conspiratorial kind, I don't need to say anything, man. Supposedly, like, there's this gun out there that shoots ice bullets and leaves hardly any trace, and may or may not give you a heart attack. But you know, this is just spy movies. I've watched one too many spy movies. So he seemed like a pretty good president to me anyway. He was elected for a second term following a disputed poll last year. Disputed by whom? the BBC, his opposition. No shit. Anytime anybody gets elected that has some kind of opposition, the opposition always disputes it. He was hailed for his anti-corruption stance during his time in office, but he was also accused of cracking down on dissent and curtailing certain freedoms. Like every single government on the planet? Really? How, the goal of the BBC to talk about curtailing people's freedoms. I mean, his critics agree that Magufuli contributed to Tanzania's development. He invested in large infrastructure projects such as a standard gauge railway to connect the country with its neighbors, major highways, and a bus system in the commercial hub of Dar es Salaam. He also increased electricity production, reducing the need for power rationing. But it is his approach to COVID-19 that many analysts say will define his legacy. That many analysts will use, BBC, learn English, that many analysts will use to define his legacy. Okay? So, the guy was a little bit like Gaddafi, right? Maybe not as brash, maybe not as bold. Maybe didn't have as many terrorist groups within his country to, kill and eradicate, but was developing a poor African country. And he provided his people with electricity. He was all about their economy continuing to grow, right? Meaning more wealth for the people in the country, more electricity, more transportation, communication, right? Development. Of course they voted him in. What is this? He was the son of a poor farmer that did a lot for the people. Yeah, so he squashed opposition. You mean the evil people who were against all the good things he did? The fact that he didn't want to force any sort of mandatory medical treatment on his people? His opposition had a problem with that? Of course they voted him in, and I bet you it was like 95%. Why wouldn't they? Fucking basic logic, people. Anyway, well, he's dead now, so don't nobody test any more papayas or goats, alright? You got it? Good.